Hello everybody, you know me. Okay, no you don't, but you know who I am. I'm Isa J, and welcome back to the Bare Bones Geeky podcast. Alongside me is...
Liam Landry. Hello everybody.
Yes, and we are here to wish all of the mothers out there a very happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, you know how mothers love podcasts about geeky things.
Exactly.
And nerd culture. They're all over that stuff. That's our key demographic.
They're watching it all the time.
They just blast this stuff over spin classes.
Mm-hmm.
Midday spin classes, to be exact.
So, yeah. Anyways, it's Mother's Day.
Yes.
Today.
If you didn't figure it out from all the talking.
Yes. At time of streaming and recording.
Yes.
So, we're going to do something very special. We mentioned it last week, of course. And it's an episode all about mothers. Obviously, it was the Bare Bones Geek podcast. So, what we do is we take a topic and we focus it even more. We're going to do our top 5 favorite mothers in pop culture today. Some of these mothers are not going to be very good mothers, and others are going to be amazing mothers.
Yes, it looks more at the character that they are and the entertainment value versus just being good overall mothers. Because that would really narrow it down to a lot fewer ones if we just went with good mothers, I believe.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
And it's also really difficult to really think about it all. It was really a tough thing to do.
We can say not a lot of representation coming from Disney on this one.
None, very few. We have one. Technically 2, maybe. But definitely one. And a lot of these are going to be because, well, a couple of mine, I would say, is going to be because of technicalities.
Yes, broad technicalities here.
And
He's really cheating the system.
Yes. After we give our top 5, we're going to just, if we remember some, and if we have enough time, we're going to just give some honorable mentions of some other favorite characters that happen to be mothers. Let's go start on down the list. What is your number 5, good sir?
My number 5, I'm going to have to give this to, and it's not really any particular order. I don't think we're doing like the greater than, so it doesn't really matter where we kind of put them, but I'm going to give props to Molly Weasley, the mother of the Weasley family. Not only, this is a character that's not only good overall, but and entertaining overall, but is also a good mother to her multiple children, having to do a lot of work. They're, of course, not very rich, if anyone knows the series, so they have quite a few children, and she has to do a lot of sewing and cleaning. Even with magic, it's a lot, and she's very protective. Actually took on and defeated Bellatrix Lestrange in order to protect her family, which is it's a big deal, because that's one of like the main villains and a very powerful foe, and she was able to do that. So very powerful, very protective, a great mother type character, a great example of that, and also an example of just overall good character, and good for the storylines and everything. And she may not be in it as much as other ones because it's a side character, but it does still very good character overall.
Yeah, that's a really good shout. Obviously, I know nothing.
I would also say that I believe Isa got was trying to get some help from family and friends, and they were saying Molly Weasley should be on the list.
Yes, they definitely were.
Yeah.
I do not watch, or I've never watched or read any of the Harry Potter stuff, so a lot of it I couldn't even talk about very well. We're going to go to my number 5 for right now, and this is a huge technicality. Huge technicality. But before she became a mother, she was one of the most amazing characters in an amazing franchise, Princess Leia. Leia Organa. She is just a great character in the first 3 movies. basically becomes a general, and she is a mother. She does have a kid. She wasn't very good at it. She gave him to Luke to train. Didn't spend enough motherly time, give enough motherly love, and at the end of the Last Jedi, she just disowned him immediately. Gave up on him. So
But she's still
she
technically
dropped
a
the
mother.
ball there. She dropped the ball there. But before all of that, she was an amazing character and did so much great for the rebellion to get the Emperor out of here. So kudos to Princess Leia before she became mother. And you're number 4.
My number 4, I'm going to go into a completely different from the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Go into a bad character that is a mother that's still entertaining, and that is Cersei Lannister.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a character completely surrounded by the idea of her motherhood. That's one of her motivating factors for most of the, and this is from Game of Thrones, if you didn't know that already. But she's completely about the concept of her motherhood throughout the first main seasons, really until her kids die off. But it's like all those times, that's what her whole value is. That's her advice to other women as well. I definitely know for Sansa, basically saying, just have children, and that's gonna be what gets you through. That's even what she said. She said before, I would have jumped off a window in the Red Keep if it wasn't for my children, which is interesting when you think about it, because that's how one of her children died, is by jumping out a window of the Red Keep. But she does it, and it shows the destructive nature of someone who puts that much in her way love and attention into her children, that she nurtures the bad qualities of a Joffrey Baratheon by allowing him to go so far and just keep feeding him with all the love and attention to his negativity, and then also play to the negatives of what's in Tommen? Tommen Baratheon, and also what was the girl's name?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
She
but
was
definitely
barely
more.
over there.
Definitely more for Tommen Baratheon. She plays into his negatives of not allowing him to be tough enough, because he's a weak leader and a very easily manipulated leader. He doesn't even really try to take any positions of power.
Not at all.
Yeah, so she ends up playing. She ends up nurturing the worst qualities of her kids by just trying to put them in the center of the universe, trying to protect them too much, trying to give them too much, and support them even too much to a negative degree. So she's almost kind of like she's a bad mother, not in a neglectful way, but in the exact opposite. She puts too much attention on the kids and too much protection, too much love, and it kind of shows the extreme of that. So it's a lot easier and more compelling to make her a character that's her weakness, that she almost loves her kids too much and wants to try to protect them too much, instead of just making her be evil and just abusive to her kids. So she's damaging but not abusive in a way. So that's a compelling part, and like I said, the main part of her character is her motherhood.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, she would lose a lot.
And I'm gonna go to my number 4, and it's gonna be the other major mother in Game of Thrones, Catelyn Stark. She obviously loves her kids just as much as Cersei loves her own. She has made mistakes in order to attempt to get them back when they were basically trapped in King's Landing, or at least Sansa was. They didn't know about Arya yet. So, yeah, Catelyn Stark, in the very first season, we see her do so much for her kids. She basically, after I don't remember the direwolf's name, but after Bran's direwolf saves Bran
Summer.
and Summer,
Mhm.
after Summer saves Bran and they get hit, they get the assassin. So she sees that. Oh, okay. I see that she's trying to connect all the pieces. She ends up getting Tyrion captured with Braun, and they just go on this whole journey. And she's basically the queen of Winterfell, and she plays it to her best ability. Unfortunately, when they're at war and Mr. Robb Stark is getting into conflict with his mom, that's when things start to go south. But you can still see she still loves Robb. She tries to tell him, don't kill him. We're gonna need them. That didn't pan out. Don't marry this woman. I know you love her, but we had an agreement with Walder. That didn't pan out. So
You could totally have had her as a side chick.
Mm-hmm. So she totally sees and knows like the right steps to take and how to lead her children, but most of her children are adults at a certain point and then no longer with her, where she's you can see her losing control, and it's very tragic. It is very tragic that she loses so much. And then at the very end, when she's watching her son and her daughter-in-law and all of her countrymen getting killed off by Walder Frey, at least she gets Walder Frey's wife at the end. And but oh man, it was a lot of heartbreak for Catelyn. But I loved Catelyn Stark. She was such a great character. All right, you're number 3.
Yeah, at least she was able to kill off that 14-year-old child that was with Walter Frey. That's probably one of the more disturbing things is when you see Walter Frey that was actually Arya in disguise that I think like smacks her butt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like looks like such a young girl. It's so awkward.
All right, you're number 3, good sir.
My number 3, I'm gonna go for back to the positive swing. Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers.
All right.
I think this is not once again another character that's just really entertaining. Bob's Burgers. That's a favorite show of mine. Out of all the Fox block, I guess you can say, of adult comedy cartoon shows, that's my favorite there. I think it's the funniest, and she is, one of the funnier ones in there. Always singing and stuff. Always wants to try to, sing lines and just have comedy, and she's supportive of her children. Realistically, Bob's Burger does a great job with making good parents.
Mm-hmm.
Not super perfect ones, but actual, real, believable, good parents that are supportive of the kids and helpful of them. Because normally in sitcoms for so long, it's been a situation where one of the parents or both of them have been terrible. A lot of times, especially the dad, that's terrible.
Yeah.
But Bob's Burger does a good job making a very realistic family that's really in there. And but she's really good as a mother and as an entertaining character, so it's a win on both those grounds. So another great mother in pop culture.
Yeah, my number 3 is going to be another one for a cartoon sitcom, and it's going to be Sharon Marsh, Stan Marsh's mom from South Park. When it comes to all of the parents, she is probably the most coherent in what she's doing. So we get a lot of her just being a good mom. She grounds her kids when she needs to. She disciplines them. She rewards them when they're doing something right. She doesn't go to the extremes of Sheila or the other Barflovsky. I screwed that last name up. Kyle's parents. She is not as easily manipulated like Eric Cartman's mom, and she didn't she didn't join a satanic cult like Kenny's parents. And she didn't always just neglect her kids like Butter's parents.
Yeah, can I say I think Butter's parents are actually the worst in the show.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Somehow they're the worst out of all of them.
With Cartman's mom, very close second though. She does nothing to discipline.
No, she's close in a bad way, but it's like for whatever reason they seem even more abusive.
Oh yeah.
There was a time when you sold him to Paris Hilton. Remember that episode?
I think so, yeah. But yeah, at least Sharon Marsh cares. You can really see that she cares. I'm not saying the others don't, but like she actually shows it the most, and she also gives everything she can to at least attempt to be the best parent she can be. Not very helpful with her, like you said, with the trope of horrible father figures with Randy Marsh, but whenever she gets a hold of Randy and is able to rein him in and get him serious, which is very few and far between, she's a really good strong figure in the series, which I find really cool. Also, she's the mother to my favorite character in South Park, which is Stan Marsh. So yeah, that's why I'm going with Sharon as my number 3.
Yeah, their family does come out as the most normal family.
Oh, 100%.
Outside of Randy Marsh, but at least he does have the benefit of being the best character on South Park. It's always has the best stuff there. Yeah, but now my next one.
Yeah, your number 2.
My last one was positive. I'll go back to negative to one of my favorite shows of all time, from BoJack Horseman. We have Beatrice Horseman, BoJack's mother, and she is absolutely terrible in all ways. I would say watch the series just to kind of give a good understanding of it, and it's not even as much of her character being there, but what she puts into it, because it's a lot about BoJack Horseman and a lot about what BoJack Horseman is, the actual character, not the show, but a lot of what his character is his messed up childhood with his mother. So even if she's not in there, she's still in there because she's what pushes BoJack in this direction. I mean, BoJack wants to be a star because I feel he's completely devoid of attention from his parents. And he also talked about before how the only time he's ever seen his mom happy is when she was hosting parties and dancing around, entertaining people. So I feel that was a big drive of him becoming an entertainer overall. So everything in his...
Yeah, she definitely has a huge influence on his life, in both positive and negative. Yeah.
Even an influence on another character that get introduced later on in his life. Definitely in the negative.
Oh yeah.
But up in there, she's connected to some of the great episodes, and unlike the father figure, you do go back and get her backstory in her life and see how messed up it is. So it's very compelling. It's some of the best episodes in the series that cover her backstory and all, and her development. And even after her death, you have another one of the best episodes of the series, covering the funeral and that. So it's overall a great show, and that's overall a great character and a great story tool. So it's not even just great character, but a great, not plot device, but in a show with characters, and about their personalities, it's one of the dividing features of one of the characters' personalities, and pushes everything forward. So without her, it would be a lot different. So I guess thank you, Beatrice Horseman, for being a terrible mother to BoJack. Think of what it would have been if he was sane.
Right.
Yeah.
But also,
a lot more boring to show.
The episode where we see, spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't know, she goes through dementia. And there's an episode that's dedicated to her mental state. And what an impactful episode that is. It's one of the best episodes to cover what it is like to have dementia, and it is so just heartbreaking to see what it feels like to go through. And then the episode where she's a child and the heartbreak she had to suffer through with that. It's just, yeah, she's a great character. All right, my number 2 is a really awesome mom. It's going to be Helen Parr, or Elastigirl, from The Incredibles. Yeah, she's a very, very good mom. She wants the best for her kids. She knows her kids have superpowers, and she just wants them to have a normal, everyday life in the beginning. Doing everything she can, but when it comes time to finally allowing them to help out in the fight, she's understanding, and she fights very well with her kids. Also a very loving wife. And in the second movie, she's like the super crime fighter and doing all this amazing stuff. So yeah, she's a really good character, really fun to see, and she has a really cool Mr. Fantastic-esque powers, which in cartoon form looks really, really cool. So yeah, she's a really cool character. And does that tie into your number 1, or what's your number 1?
Well, my number 1, like you said, this isn't ranking or anything, but
Exactly.
it's just going back, because I want to spread these out with good to bad.
Okay.
Overall, go back to good, and that was going to be to another favorite show of mine, or favorites of this, I guess what you can kind of say, like children's cartoon renaissance as it was going down.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites from there was Amazing World of Gumball, and in there, the Cole Watterson.
Okay.
And there, once again, great mother in her, but also great character. She takes a lot of the type of like angry yelling mother, but it's not all the time. It's just when she's pushed to it.
Mm-hmm.
To levels. There was a very funny one where she was out for an episode where she was out for a while, and the rest of the family just kind of lose control of the house, and they end up getting like kicked out, and like everyone just kind of comes in to party and stuff and do whatever they want, and that rest of the family can't get out, and they're like, "Mom's gonna be back soon," and then you just see him like turn around and go like, "Eh," and you see her like come on the screen, and they're like, "What happened?" And they just like, and you point to it, and she goes in there and yells at everyone. She makes one of the other characters that like invaded the house, the party around, like stare into her eyes, and he just like sees flames and death, and he just like walks away, like grabs a broom and starts sweeping and cleaning up things, and everyone immediately goes to clean everything up because they're scared of her. So is that she has a kung fu background, and she has a great episode. What is it, The Choice, that goes over her like background and how she ends up meeting her soon-to-be husband and her terrible relationship with her parents, about how they always pushed her to be the best at everything. Yeah, so it's a great character and funny show. They do have the archetype of the dumb father. I like one time when he doesn't have a job, so they try to get him a job, but when he got a job, the universe started collapsing on itself, so he had to quit. So they had to make him quit.
Oh my gosh.
They cover a lot of these tropes and things in a very funny manner like that.
That's cool.
So it's like, why is he a lazy dad that doesn't have a job? It's like, because the universe will destroy itself. Because the universe can't handle a sitcom dad having a job or being incompetent at things. So, but yeah, it's a very funny show. I put it up there with a lot of the other ones I mentioned. But funny show, and she's a great character in that. Very funny.
Yeah. So my number 1 for just to name them, is another one that's also a technicality.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to do my number 5 as someone else than Leia, so I'll do that in the honorable mentions part. But it's going to be Daenerys Targaryen, which is a huge technicality. She's the mother of dragons. She's still to this day my favorite character on the show. 2 episodes left at time of stream, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with her. I love Daenerys Targaryen since season 1, episode 1, and just seeing what she had to go through, her battles, and right now where she's actually not winning immediately, like in Marine and other places where she's actually getting tested, is actually getting me captivated by her character again. I can't wait to see what the last 2 episodes holds for her, but yeah, it's gonna be a journey, and I love her character arc from season 1 to now, and it's just a lot of like, this is how you write a strong woman, to where it's not so, oh haha, she's the strongest, where she actually had to grow into it, where she was crying because she was with Khal Drogo, to where she's actually I love this man, and then boom, she is one of the strongest Khaleesi's of all time. So yeah, that's our list of top 5 favorite characters that are mothers. One of the honorable mentions that I actually wanted to put at number 5, but I accidentally put Leia Organa, was Lindsay Bluth from Arrested Development. She is, like a lot of the others, a horrible mother. She thinks that if her daughter is not doing her schoolwork, she's expressing herself, and that's okay, even if she gets Fs. She is very clueless and unaware of what her daughter is doing. Maybe, which is the daughter's name, maybe ends up accidentally, secretly becoming a film executive for a company at the age of 16, and she keeps that job for a long time, and her 2 parents are completely clueless about it, and it's whenever they're like, oh yeah, let's talk to Maybe about it, let's ask Maybe, she's never around because they always forget about her, which is really funny. It's like, oh yeah, so if you wanted to talk to Maybe, oh yeah, where's Maybe? Oh, we forgot Maybe. And then they cut to a scene where Maybe's like in the front room, like, I guess they forgot me. They had a episode where George Michael Bluth was trying, the son of the main character is trying to throw a surprise party, and he's trying to get everybody there to get to the house, and no one shows up. You would think the mom and dad would at least try to show up to their own daughter's party, but nope, they don't show up. And it's like, and she's very comical with it. She's portrayed by Portia de la Rossi, and she's really good at this role.
Is that Ellen's girlfriend?
Mm-hmm. I think wife now.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did get married.
Mm-hmm. Yep, her.
Yeah, I thought good for Ellen.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was hot, the Portia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good pick.
I mean, she still looks good. She just cut her hair really short.
Portia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'm still saying, it's like when I saw them dating for the first time, it's like, ooh, good job for Ellen. That's a good catch right there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what she was. I thought she was like a model or something.
Mm-hmm. I think she mostly did modeling, and her first major role was Lindsay Bluth.
I have one. Did you watch that 70s show?
I did.
Because I would put up Kitty Foreman as an honorable mention.
She's a funny character.
Funny character, very likable, and the fairly good mother, I would say as well. Like all of them really, because she's kind of like the mother that everyone treats as like their mother, because they're always at their house.
Yeah.
And you don't really get to see a lot of the other mothers.
The only one you really ever get to see is Donna's mom.
Yeah, because they're next door.
And that's only in the first half of the series. Second half, she's gone.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's a good one. Another good one from Malcolm in the Middle. Have you seen that, Lois?
Okay.
I was trying to look it up, but they didn't put their last names when I was looking up on Google. So it just had all their first names. So I don't know what it is, but another one is, one of the, angry mother character types. And it was kind of refreshing at that point, because this was definitely when they were going through the phase of, like, the phase of terrible fathers in sitcoms. So it's just kind of like going through the point of, like, the mother's always right and good, and then the father's terrible. And in this, it was kind of like more of a realistic look on a family, where it's like the father's still not very competent in there, but he's also someone you would still look at as a good father. I would think if we go on top fathers of in pop culture, it would be very likely to put him on the list there. But for her, she's not always just angry and yelling at the time. She has a lot of different depth. I would even look at her as being the kind of inspiration for someone like a Nicole Waterson that I put on the list, just because I find the overall show a little funnier and what she can do, because I mean she is a cartoon character, so she is able to do different cartoony things. But it's real good episodes. I remember a lot of ones where it was like her and Malcolm alone when Malcolm was trying to work at the store and stuff. Not a good back and forth between them. I like the one where they were like on the softball team versus each other. That was a pretty good episode. But yeah, that's another good one. And I'll give one other one. I would also put in Mallory Alcher from the show Alcher as a terrible mother of terrible mothers. It's probably one of the worst overall.
But very entertaining.
Yes.
There's a couple more that I know a few people are going to be a little bit upset that we didn't get to. Marge Simpson.
Yeah.
Huge iconic. I was never a Simpsons watcher, so I never...
It would have been further up there in there if it wasn't for how the seasons kept on going.
Yeah. And then, of course, Lois Griffin from Family Guy. She's one of the... She plays a big part in pop culture history as well.
Yeah, just once again, another one where it's kind of like ruined as it goes on. There was even a time when I thought, when I watched Family Guy, and it's like, man, did I just like grow out of this and thought it was terrible? Then I went back to watch the old ones, and I was like, no, they were just two completely different shows from the early on to now, and the early one was a lot better.
And it's amazing that that South Park has been able to have characters, and they always feel good. They always feel fresh. And then Simpsons and Family Guy, they just haven't been able to. They just did not grow very well, yet still have a lot of staying power.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, you have the fact that Simpsons and Family Guy don't even have the guys who originally created it working on it anymore. So, I mean, you just really have... Whereas South Park's always been the same two guys.
Matt Stone,
just doing
Trey
everything.
Parker,
So, and it's something that they're clearly passionate about. I think it's also helpful that they can just get them out in, like, just a week's time. And they have so much other time with the rest of the off-season that they can just go around and do stuff. Like, if they want to put out a musical, they can. Because that's one of the things where it's like, someone gets real bored at doing it because they want to do something else. We were kind of talking about that off screen earlier about characters where they just kind of end the season real quick and like end a series real quick before you really think it should have, because they just want to get on to something else.
Yeah. And two more mothers, played by the same woman, actually. Oh, drat. Oh, no, no. Anyways, okay, her name is not going to come to me right now. But she played Gemma in Sons of Anarchy, and she also played the mom in Married with Children. Both very different styles of mother, where Gemma is a horrendous mother, but she loves her kid, her son, and she loves her grandchildren so much that she will make horrible and totally terrible decisions, like kill her son's fiance because she thinks that her babies are gonna be the worst for it, but she's doing it in her mind out of love, kind of like a Cersei, but to a different extreme.
Blows up any churches?
No, but she. She's done some things. But hey, she is a lot like Cersei, because she did end up killing her son's fiance or her son's wife. Holy crap!
Oh, that's what I said about the church.
Yeah,
because that's when he.
And then the other one, in another sitcom kind of role in the late '80s, I believe, with Married with Children, where
it was probably been '90s.
'90s,
because that's when that type of counterculture thing would have been popular.
Okay, and she's playing like semi-airheaded mom, but still very loving.
What was it? Oh, Ralph. Never watched the show, but I know that's.
I've seen like a couple episodes here and there, not enough to really watch it. But the actress, and of course, House Mom. She also played House Mom in the Disney Channel movie.
That's true.
She has a lot of experience portraying mothers, whether they're
just none of them good.
None of them good.
Oh, terrible mothers. She's probably a fine mother in real life, though, if she has kids.
I don't know if she has kids, but I know she's married.
Okay, how about this? Quick props to Moana's mother for being alive.
Yeah, there we go.
And also, I think Meredith's mother from Brave is still alive as well. So
she became a bear.
Good props to them.
Good job, live. You guys.
That's. Did you ever hear the backstory on that concept?
To let them live?
No. Like when Walt was younger, his mom died in a house fire with a furnace catching fire, and he felt responsible because he felt like he didn't do enough to save her and stuff. So that's kind of one of the concepts of why mothers always ended up dying in there, because it was a reflection back to his own mother's death. And they kept carrying that on after he was gone. Yeah. Because it just kind of ended up becoming a trope at that point.
I see. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we still have a few more minutes to try to come up with other moms.
Other moms to talk about.
Any moms that you can think of that are just not fun to watch. Like maybe Sheila. Where she's always... Sheila Barfowski. Oh my gosh.
Is a great big bitch.
Yeah. It's interesting, however, whenever she comes on the stinking screen, you're just like, oh my gosh, no. Why?
She does have the great episode in the Jersey Shore one. You seen that one before?
I think so.
Like they get invaded by the Jersey people, and it turns out she was actually one of them.
All along.
Yeah, I love the scene where Cal is just kind of like coming in, he's like combing his hair, like rubbing toothpaste to make a weird logo on his shirt, and like rolling up his sleeves, and he goes to his mom, it's like, what's happening to me?
Or when pretty sure she was the movement to get the What was her plan for the homeless? She also had a plan for the homeless, which is kind of like messed up. Randy Marsh's homeless plan was bloody funny as heck, though, trying to make them into tires.
Yeah. Well, she of course came up with the hit song "Blame Canada."
Yes, she did.
Gotta give props to that.
Because whenever something bad happens in America, you blame Canada for it. That's her go-to.
Thinking of the homeless one, I still love the California is nice to the homeless. I really love you hear the ever heard it in the credits part of that episode, because they keep on coming with like more verses, and I don't remember what it was. I think it was maybe Burbank. It's like in Burbank, California, right next to Matt's house. You can chill if you're homeless. Of course, to one of the creators, Matt Stone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's clear from Trey saying like, if you're homeless, go hang out by Matt's house. It's fine.
That's funny.
Yeah. Great mothers, or just great characters who happen to be mothers.
It's really hard to just come up with them on the top of your head.
It's a lot of the ones you can just look at as sitcoms, because that's where so many are from.
Very, very true.
Because let's face it, if it's from most other things, they're probably fodder.
Mm-hmm.
if it's a hero's journey, they're good as dead. He is one, Aunt May, as a mother figure.
Mm-hmm.
Never had. So that's mother figure for Peter Parker.
She was always a really good mother figure for that character.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Slow on the take, though. It's so weird that she never found out that it was Peter as Spider-Man all that time. I'm especially thinking like in comic books wise, when it's been like years.
Mm-hmm.
There was I was watching was Achievement Hunter go over there. They're playing the Spider-Man for the PS4 game, the Marvel Spider-Man, and he start off with it's like look he's just flying right out of his window. You think everyone knows, and it's like, you know, everyone's probably like they all know. They just let's not tell Peter. Let's let him keep believing that no one knows his secret identity. I mean, she's got to get curious about all the cobwebs eventually, don't you think?
It's definitely something that she should be like, I wonder what the heck this even means. But
like my nephew has a lot of Spider-Man merch for some reason, including full Spider-Man suits. Does that mean he's a cosplayer?
I thought I raised him better. No. We didn't really get to see a lot of
at least it's not Deadpool.
Talking about yeah. But talking about Spider-Man moms, Miles Morales' mom seemed like a really good mama.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you're saying seen a lot from the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I would figure she's probably a lot in it more than.
In the comics she's probably a lot more. I really wish I could read the comics. Pick them up.
She's even in it a lot in the video game. I don't think Miles ever becomes the Spider-Man, or his version of Spider-Man in there. But he's in it. He's actually in it, and he hangs out with them. He actually meets his dad, and his dad gets killed off, but he talked to his mom, and like to try to help him cope with it, he ends up working at like the same place Aunt May works at, like for the homeless shelter and stuff. So he's in it a lot, and she's in there a good bit. But yeah, that seems like a good mother from the movie. Thinking of other really great sitcom moms, what do you think about it?
I mean, obviously another mother figure, not his mom. However, she still has 3 kids of her own from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I can't think of her name, but Carlton's mom.
Yeah, can you think of either actress?
No.
I still like the one bit when they got the new actress, and they had oh damn it, what was the one? The Will's friend that always gets kicked out.
Yeah, the one with the I don't remember his name either.
DJ Freshie.
Something like
It's
that.
it's something like that. And it was actually Will Smith's DJ for when he raps. The guy who produces his beats. Um, but like V comes in and like she comes up behind him and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, it's me." And it's like, and he's like weirded out because it's a different actress.
Did you get a new hairdo or something?
Like, pretty good
No, it's always been me.
That's a pretty good
little...
meta moment right there.
But
yeah, it's hard because like a lot of sitcom moms all kind of fall into the same category.
yeah, like Aunt Becky trying to get her kids through college by bribes.
Yes.
Not very good mom qualities there.
No. But goddamn, all those people living in that one gigantic house in San Francisco.
It's not even that stinking big, though. If you really think about it, it's not that big of a bloody house.
Yeah, but it's in San Francisco. That would have been like a $5 million house in San Francisco. For God's sakes. Well, you know how expensive that?
There is two people working at a news broadcast that owns that house. Which also doesn't make sense because if you're a news broadcaster, you don't really make a lot of money.
Yeah. And the other one didn't even come in until later. It was Danny's house. He already had that before anyone else. So it was just him and his wife and her kids. So I don't even know if the wife had an income.
Very true. So many questions.
Yeah.
They just didn't let us have any answers to.
I'll also go into there. We're not going to go into an episode about fantasy real estate, but a lot of people also talk about the Friends, like Monica's apartment, and saying it was so great and that they would never have been able to afford it in New York. And it's like people made a case, but they've completely left out the fact that they were actually illegally subletting from Monica's aunt or grandmother or something. So that's the reason why they were able to live there. Everyone completely overlooks that, but yeah, they had an entire episode where they almost got kicked out because they were illegally subletting.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And then
rape mothers.
So we need. I'm guessing we're just needing a show that's about moms, and it's actually good and fun and character stuff. They did have a show called Hot in Cleveland, which was about 3 middle-aged women living in a house together with Betty White, and all the 3 middle-aged women were mothers.
Ever seen it?
I watched the first 2 seasons.
Oh.
I wasn't able to finish the series, but had Wendy Malick, amazing. Drat. Valerie Bertinelli, amazing, love her, and the British Jane O'Drat. I'm not gonna be able to remember her last name, but the British lady from Frasier, the one that marries Giles. She's in it, and it was really entertaining. I like the 3 main actresses. Not the biggest fan of Betty White, but it was very, very entertaining and funny.
I'm gonna try to imitate the gift for us. It's like, why would you say something so brave yet so truthful? Ever seen that gift? I don't even think I got it right, but it was like from some guy from Adult Swim that has like this crazy late night talk show host type thing.
Yeah.
I also like the one where he like goes and shoots someone, and it's like always the meme is like, well, it's simple to explain from just talking about it. But yeah, well, anyways, another one to I just lost it.
Well, how about the
Oh,
Golden Girls mom?
how about this? I've never seen it, but I know people would complain if we didn't have it. The Secret of Nim, which is a fantasy action movie that is lead is a mother. Something that you don't see a lot. So I didn't see it. Have you?
I haven't seen the movie all the way, but it's definitely.
I believe I've seen the second one on TV, but never seen the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's not on our list, because we don't have enough knowledge about it. But
Yeah.
but I'll point out because
let's just do the. I know you haven't seen the first one where she's in it the most, but Bill and Ted. I'm pretty sure it's Ted's mom. No, it's Bill's mom. Which one's which? Alex Winter. Whoever Alex Winter plays, it's his stepmom, and she's a hot mom that Keanu Reeves is totally attracted to, and as well, Alex Winter is totally attracted to, and she's just a fun. She's not there for any real substance. She's there for the joke, but she also has really good one-liners in the movie, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So there's a fun little ridiculous mom to end it off for this episode.
And I would also add, Secret of Nim's mom is a lot better than Journey to the movie with Fievel.
Yes.
Journey to America, something like that, where Fievel gets lost through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like bad parents there. Those are bad mice parents compared to good mice parents.
An American Dream? Or American Tail?
American Tail, yeah. Fievel, American Tail. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then they had Fievel Goes West, which is why I was thinking of going to America. But, yeah, so trying to think of any other ones. But yeah, wanted to talk about that one because you don't see movies featuring mothers. Just thought of one. Sarah Connors. Boom. Terminator.
Oh, there's a good one.
Top mom right there.
Yeah.
Can't get better moms than Sarah Connors. I mean, would your mom be able to defeat a Terminator to save you?
I would like to hope so. But I don't know. Yeah. But there's probably a lot more that we just can't even think of. And that in the past week we weren't really able to think of either. Because a lot of times mothers aren't the focus. But yeah. At the end of the day, we all love our moms. So let's see some more good moms represented, or good characters that are moms represented in the media, because we need that. All right, that's the show for today. Next week, we are going to be talking, because it is the series finale, absolute series finale of Game of Thrones. We will be going back to Game of Thrones. I feel like it's necessary to do, and we will talk about. We will reveal obviously next week what the main topic is, but it's gonna be big. It's Game of Thrones season finale. Here we go. Series finale. Here we go. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give us your top 5 or top 10 or your favorite moms in pop culture, geeky, cinema, whatever. Let us know some that you have, and because we want to know, we want to really know who else is out there.
We also want people to debate who had the better list.
Very much so.
Yes, mine.
Anyways, thank you guys again so much for watching. Please give us those sexy likes.
And the unsexy ones.
If you really like what we do, then please share this video and all of our videos to your friends.
And enemies.
After you do that, please subscribe to the channel so that way you are part of the skeleton army. And then go and ring the notification bell, because
I want to get notified for when this podcast, Bare Bones Geeky Podcast, goes up. I also want to get notified for when we post videos, events, information, polls, anything of the sorts. So
yes.
so ring that bell so you can actually know things, because we can't trust YouTube for that anymore.
No. And then go onto our channels tab in this tab and sign up or subscribe to Smart Wrestling Alliance and the Sports Enthusiast League channels as well, where we do videos and stuff for those channels.
Yes, one concerning wrestling, the other concerning sports,
Yes.
as one could understand. But
Exactly. And follow me on Twitter at EthaJ_STP.
follow me on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
And tune back in next week. Game of Thrones series finale. Here we go. And until next time, it will be awesome. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. And goodbye to your mothers.